So in my mind, I want to lean on the systems because the flow and the efficiency and the streamlining to make our lives easier is the intent of choosing the right system. But the other half of me is like, well, it could be a person like me, and you could have a bunch of teammates that are all high C's and they're very analytical people, but then they can't use it at all. So really, if you're not putting 50-50 weight on both, I think you did a disservice to your team and you did a disservice to the employees. And at the end of the day, you have to have 50-50 because it's got to be that perfect blend. So hopefully that answers that for you, Jess, because I
Yeah.
instantly want to go to systems because I'm the one that always has to set it up, but I'm also the one that has to hold it forward and train others and become SMEs. They've got to be, subject matter experts in doing so, but it's got to be user friendly enough that the employee can understand it, especially if you're setting up kiosks for people to clock in and out and you have a ton of non-exempt employees, but then you have exempt employees that are using it for benefits and checking on their 401k. So it's got to be a perfect blend.
It's such a challenge for all those reasons. I mean, I want something that I can be able to use as an HR professional or as somebody who's processing payroll, looking at reports. But then I also want people to be able to use it themselves so they aren't messaging me for information or inundating with their managers, leaders with questions of how to use. It's just such a balance. And I think that when you see the demos of the HR technology products, especially in payroll, it's hard to really get a sense until you're in the system and you're living it. Like, does it do what it says it will really do?
I agree with you there. And that's why sometimes reaching out to somebody like myself is easier to know what your pros and cons are going to be of it. But also, I believe in your onboarding. Not only just as we look at it for employees, how you actually onboard a new system. That's where you need to leverage your leadership is knowing exactly what's going to be, what their part of the puzzle will be, and how they're going to execute that and divide that down to their divisions. And when they divide it down to their divisions, it's spending that adequate time. I have some clients that have 18-20 week onboarding protocols. I like that because I'll take 3 or 4 weeks to add in the payroll, the reporting, the ad hocing, everything that they need to do. So it is seamless and it streamlines for them for the best efficiency. Systems have always been a go to. It's been very easy for me to explain because it's how my mind operates. But if you don't put enough on your onboarding and putting in those due diligent weeks, you're actually setting yourself up for failure, in my mind.